So in today's class, we will be discussing about cascading style sheet, right? In short form, we call it as CSS. So before that, let me take few minutes to revise what we have studied so far, right? So in our web design and development, we basically discussed about the theories, right? Related to server, hosting, DNS and so on, right? And then we talk about client server architecture, client versus server, right? And then we talked about basics of web design and development, right? Client side scripting versus server side scripting. Right? And under client side, we discussed that there are three different scripting languages: HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Whereas in server side, we discussed there are PHP or ASP.NET, JSP, and so on, right? So there are different technologies. So in our syllabus, we will be covering this three plus one server-side scripting language, which will be PHP. So, so for up to now, we have completed HTML, right? So today we will start CSS. So in HTML, we covered almost all the things. But anyway, without HTML, we can't work with CSS and JavaScript or even with PHP. So in that case, wherever we use HTML, wherever we use CSS, JavaScript or PHP, we will also have to use HTML. So we will be keep on revising the use of HTML. So even if you don't understand something in the previous classes, when we revise everything, you can easily understand, right? In HTML, more importantly, we discussed about how to format HTML document, formatting, and then image, how to add images, hyperlink table, how to work with tables in HTML, and also we extensively discussed about HTML forms, right? These are some of the basic components under HTML we covered. So in today's session, we will discuss about CSS, right? So earlier, before the introduction of CSS, we had to heavily rely on HTML. So for example, if we had to use a different font for any HTML tag, we had to use this font tag. Let's say if we had to design hundreds of pages, how difficult it would have been, because every page we had to give a different fonts sometimes. And then if we want to edit anything, then we had to go to every individual pages and we had to edit. So it was a very daunting, difficult task, right? So then World Wide Web Consortium introduced CSS, right? CSS was introduced. So then for the purpose of, for the creation or the structure of any document, any web page, we use HTML, right? For the structure, we use HTML. Now we have to design it, right? We have to give a good user experience, right? User experience, right? We call it UX, And there is another term, UI stands for user interface, right? When we design a very good user interface, then hopefully it will give a very good user experience, because websites are like our shops. Websites we create for any purpose, right? Without any purpose, we don't create website. So whatever the reason, there will be a reason for the website. Let's say a business wants to create a website, maybe their reasons will be to promote their business and make the sales. In that case, if a visitor comes to our website, we should try to keep them in our website for as many minutes possible, right? So there is another term, bounce rate, right? Bounce rate should be very less, right? It means a visitor comes to our website, right? He visits our website. Then after a few seconds, he exits our website. Then it means high bounce rate, high bounce rate, right? We should try to reduce the bounce rate. It means we should keep our visitors for long minutes or maybe hours. So if you take any social media, because of their interactive and very good user interface, most of the users, if they come, they stay long. But if we go to any other websites, after a few seconds we leave it, right? So now we should reduce the bounce rate. It means we have to give a very good user experience through our user interface design. So it is where CSS comes into play, right? So basically we use CSS to style any HTML document, right? For example, if we design anything in purely HTML, it will be in black color, right? Background will be white and the text color will be in black. But if we want to change the colors, the appearance, the font size, how they appear to the user, everything can be styled using CSS, right? CSS. So it tells the web browser, CSS will give the or will instruct the web browser how they should display any HTML document, right? Let's see how we can use CSS in any HTML document, right? So to start with, let me create one simple HTML document here. Then later we can actually create the pages, right? So, this is the skeleton. So we have to put head text, body, right? Right. So this is the simple skeleton, the structure of HTML document, right? So now let me type one H1 tag, my heading, right? Now this is our HTML document. Now we want to style this heading, right? We want to style this heading. So let me discuss basic things at first. CSS, right? CSS we can use in three ways. We can use in three ways, right? CSS can be used in three ways. One is, we call it inline CSS. It means inline CSS. We will see one by one, right? But the first one is inline CSS. The second one, internal CSS. Third one, external CSS, right? These three ways are all useful. Most of the times we will be using external CSS and also internal and inline CSS, right? So to note it, external CSS is very useful because we will use a external CSS file, for example, style.css. The CSS files extension is .css, right? If we use a external CSS, let me come and explain one by one what these inline, internal, and external CSS are meaning, right? So now here we have HTML tag, and here we have the heading tag, right? If I want to apply CSS using inline method means we define the style to the HTML tag itself, right? To the HTML tag itself. It means if I want to change this color to blue, this text color to blue using inline CSS method, inline, here itself we use the style tag. So instead of this, here I can use a attribute. There's an attribute, CSS attribute in HTML that's called style, right? That's called style. So then equal sign, then here you can write the CSS style parameters, right? So color blue. So we have to, if we use more than one style elements, we have to put the semicolon, right? So here we have written only one. So in that case, I have not used semicolon, right? Now I am writing my heading. Here I have used the attribute style equal, then within quotation I have given the CSS property and value, right? And here I have to, in this h1 tag, right now using this style attribute for any HTML element or HTML tag, we can apply style, right? This is called inline CSS. So here within the tag itself we are applying the style. That's why we call inline CSS. We apply to the tag itself. That's why we call it inline CSS. This is useful and it has some disadvantage. What's the disadvantage? After some time, if you want to change the style, let's say you have 10 HTML pages. Now for the h1 tag, using this inline CSS, you have given color red, right? Now let's say you are designing for a client. Now the client tells you this red color is not looking nice, so I want you to change the color to blue. Now what you have to do? You have to come to every pages and you have to look h1 tag, wherever h1 tag, then you have to change the color back to blue. So it's a time consuming task, and there are also chances that sometimes you may miss any h1 tag without changing back to blue. So this is not the recommended one, but in some cases, if you want to just apply to only one particular HTML element, this is useful, right? This is useful, right? So in actual business case, we will interchangeably use, right? Based on our requirement in a single website, we might have been used inline, internal, and also external CSS as well, right? So depending our requirement. So this is inline CSS. So let me show the demo now. So I'm here. So I'm just creating one. So I'm using just a notepad just to make sure you understand everything clearly, right? So here, let me give what I'm changing this file as a inline.html. So here we are going to use inline CSS. So let me give a title, inline CSS. I am styled with inline CSS. So we don't want this. So this is a frame. So let me create 3 HTML files. So one is inline, save as. I'm creating another file, internal HTML. And one more we will create, save as external, right? So now we have 3 files. So let's work with the inline HTML. Let me open this notepad. Now we are going to apply inline HTML, right? So before that, let me open the file in web browser. Now we are getting this without any CSS, right? Now we want to apply this inline CSS just to make the color to blue, right? So for that, only thing is what we have to do is for the particular HTML tag itself, we will use a attribute called style, right? Attribute called style. Now within quotation or double quotation, we have to give our CSS styling. So now I use the color property of CSS, right? So we will learn almost all the common CSS properties. So now I am just showing you what are the methods in which we can add CSS to any HTML document. So now under that there are 3 methods. First one, inline CSS, which we apply to the particular HTML element. Then internal CSS, I will come to that little late after this. Then we will discuss about external CSS, right? So this one is inline CSS because for the H1 tag itself we have applied, right? For the tag itself we have applied, and I am giving the color blue. I am giving the color blue. Now I am just copying this H1 tag just to show you the difference between inline CSS and internal CSS. Styled, right? So here there are 2 H1 tags. For the first H1 tag, we have applied the CSS style using the attribute style. So we have changed its color to blue. Here also there is one H1 tag, but here we have not applied any styling. Now I am saving this file. Now let me refresh this. Now what has happened for the first H1 tag where we applied this style, it has changed the color to blue. Here it's not. Why? Here we haven't applied any style, right? We have not applied any style. So even let's say in this way, if there are 10 H1 tags, if there are 10 H1 tags, we have to apply one by one for all the 10 H1 tags. It's not a good practice, right? It will consume a lot of time, and also like I told you, if you want to change the color later, then you have to do one by one again, right? So it's not a recommended way, but there are some cases you want to specifically apply for only that particular tag. Then in that case you can use this inline HTML, or sometimes there will be a common style applied for all the H1 text. In that case, for one particular page you want to change the color, then in that case it is very useful. Let me explain that what I am meaning, right? So let me take a new sheet. Now we have, let's say we have a one external style sheet CSS. Now we have linked this to three HTML pages, page 1.html, then here page 2.html and page 3.html. Now in this we have applied H1, the color, right? Color is blue. So if we use external CSS and link to all the HTML pages, if you open any of this HTML page and if there are H1 tag, all the H1 text color will be blue. Now you want to keep this blue color for page 1 and also page 2, but for the page 3 you don't want to use blue color for H1 tag. In page 3 you want to give a red color for the H1 tag. In that case you can use this inline CSS. So you can open this page 3 and wherever you find H1 tag you can add this style attribute and you can give the color red, right? Then it will overwrite the external CSS and it will display this one, right? There's another property important, right? When there are two styles are conflicting, we can enforce or we can force one style to appear, right? So I will discuss that later, right? After clearing all this. Now I hope inline CSS is very clear to you, right? So for the H1 tag, it's for the particular tag itself. Here you can see, even though there are two H1 tags, we have applied for only one HTML H1 tag, and also it has appeared for only one H1 tag for which we have applied, right? Now in that case, as I told, if there are 10 H1 tags, if you want to give a blue color for all the 10 H1 tags, then you have to one by one you have to add this. And later if you decide to change the color, for example, you have to change one by one. So this is a time consuming, not a good practice, right? But anyway, it is also one of the options we can use CSS for any HTML document. So external எங்களுக்கு CSS நாங்க ஒரு தரம் பாவிக்கலாம், மூணு மெத்தட்ல உண்டு. அப்படி பாவிக்கிற நேரம் எல்லாத்துக்கும் காமனா வரக்கூடியது, உதாரணத்துக்கு நாங்க ஹைப்பர் லிங்க்ஸை யூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். அதே மாதிரி எங்களோட மெனு, எல்லா பேஜ்லயும் மெனு வந்து ஒரே மாதிரி தான் வரப்போகுது. அப்ப மெனுவை நாங்க CSS யூஸ் பண்ணி அழகா டிசைன் பண்ணலாம். அப்படி டிசைன் பண்ற நேரம் இந்த காமனான மெனுட ஸ்டைல் வந்து எல்லா பேஜுக்கும் அதே மாதிரி தான் அப்ளை ஆகும். அப்படி அப்ளை ஆகிற நேரம் நாங்க ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் அந்த கோட CSS ஸ்கிரிப்டை நாங்க இண்டிவிஜுவல் ஆட் பண்ணாம எக்ஸ்டர்னல் CSS ஒரு காமனான ஒரு ஃபைல் ஒன்றை கிரியேட் பண்ணிட்டு அந்த ஃபைலை நாங்க என்ன செய்வோம்னா எங்களுக்கு தேவையான ஒவ்வொரு HTML பேஜோடையும் லிங்க் பண்ணுவோம். உதாரணத்துக்கு நமக்கு ஒரு அந்த மெனுல ஸ்டைல் ஒரு சேஞ்ச் ஒன்று செய்யணுமா இருந்தா சிம்பிளா வந்து என்ன செய்யலாம், ஒரு சிங்கிள் பிளேஸ்ல இந்த எக்ஸ்டர்னலா யூஸ் பண்ணிருக்கிற ஸ்டைல் ஃபைல்ல நம்ம அந்த சேஞ்ச் செய்யற நேரம் அது வந்து எல்லா பேஜ்லயும் automatically reflect பண்ண போகுது. So this is the best practice and easiest way, right? இருந்தாலும் சில சந்தர்ப்பங்கள்ல எங்களுக்கு இன்லைன் சிஎஸ்எஸ் ஒரு குறிப்பிட்ட ஒரு பேஜ்ல மட்டும் அது வித்தியாசமா காட்டணும் அப்படியே ஒரு தேவை கொண்டு வரக்குள்ள இன்லைன் சிஎஸ்எஸ் நம்ம பாவிக்கலாம். இன்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ் ஒன்று இருக்குது, ரெண்டுக்கும் இடைப்பட்டது. அதை நம்ம இப்ப பார்ப்போம். Internal CSS, it's sometimes we can call method 2. In the second way we use CSS, so let's write it internal CSS, internal CSS, right? So here HTML, so earlier in inline CSS, within the body tag to the particular HTML tag we applied style, that is we call inline CSS. Now internal CSS, let's say here h1 tag is there are another h1 tag, maybe say there are 10 h1 tag. Now we want to apply blue color for all this, for all the h1 tags. Then it is difficult because using inline we have to apply one by one. So to make this easy, we have another option, right? We have another option, that is we can use a internal CSS. Internal CSS, how do we use is within the head tag. Within the head tag we put style within the head tag we introduce a tag called style tag, right? Style / style. Here we can write. So the syntax for using CSS we will discuss little later, right? After explaining these three ways, I will explain what is the syntax, or with this also I can explain, right? So now I want to apply blue color for all this h1 text. Now simply I can do so. So within this heading tag we have used style. Now I can use h1, right? H1, I can give something like this color, okay, green, color green. Now all the h1 text will appear in green color. Let me show this in demo. Now we have internal HTML, sorry. So let's modify this. Change internal with internal. So in inline here itself we use a style attribute and we give CSS properties, but here within the head tag we use style. We use style tag, right? Now here we have to apply style. So let me create few h1 text, then you can understand the difference, right? Okay. So 1, 2, right? Now let's say we want to apply green color to all this H1 text, so I can put H1, and this is the syntax, right? So here in style sheet, space doesn't matter, right? Even if you want, you can write without making any spaces, or some people would write like this, right? Color green, right? This is, some people will write like this without making space in the same line. So I prefer to use this one, so it gives better readability for me, right? So this is what I prefer. So it's up to you, you can follow any standard, right? So now for H1 tag, we have, oh, see the syntax, I will explain this later after explaining this internal CSS. So for the H1 tag, I have applied, I have used the CSS property color, and the value is green. So if we use more than one style, you have to put a semicolon to separate it, right? Semicolon to separate it. So since we have applied only one style, just the color, either you can put semicolon or you don't need to put semicolon. So it's better to put semicolon. So it will be easy, right? I put it. Now let me inlines here. Let me reload this page. So what's the page? Internal, sorry. Let's open internal CSS page. Now you see here, the green color is applied to all these three. This green color is applied to all these three. Now, like I told you, in this case, for H1, we have applied green color. For all the H1 text, we have applied green color. So now it appears. Now let's say out of these three H1 tag, for this third one, I don't want the color to be green. I want the color to be blue. So in that case, I can use the the first method, inline CSS, where I can use the property. Sorry, I can use the attribute style, and then I can give the color red. Now let's see which one applies to this third. Either the internal way, or if you see here, there is a conflicting situation where using this internal CSS, using this internal CSS, we have applied green color to all the H1 tag. So this is, since this is also has H1 tag, it's supposed to be appear in green color. And also the same time, using inline CSS, we have applied red color. Now first of all, let's see which one applies for this third one, either the green color, internal CSS one, or inline CSS one. Now let me refresh this. Now if you see here, it is purposefully designed like that, right? Now if you see here, red color is overlapping. So here what happens is internal CSS is overlapped by inline CSS. Of course, this is very useful. So even if you apply common style to a common HTML tag, for example, H1, using inline CSS, we can change its property. Now let me explain it in Tamil also, right? இப்போ இங்க நமக்கு ஆரம்பத்துல நம்ம இன்லைன் சிஎஸ்எஸ் பாவிச்சோம். அந்த நேரம் ஒவ்வொரு ஒவ்வொரு HTML டெக்குக்கும் நாங்க ஸ்டைல அப்ளை பண்ணோம். இங்க இன்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ் பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் ஸ்டைல் டெக் நாங்க ஹெட் டெக்குள்ள போடுறோம். அதுக்கு பிறகு நாங்க என்ன செய்யலாம், இப்படி சிஎஸ்எஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். இது இது எப்படி யூஸ் பண்ற இந்த ஃபார்மேட்டை நம்ம இப்ப இதுக்கு பிறகு கதப்போம். ரைட், நான் 3 வழியில சிஎஸ்எஸ் பாவிக்கலாம்ன்றது தான் உங்களுக்கு சொல்லி கொண்டு வரேன். முதலாவது நாங்க பார்த்தோம் இன்லைன் சிஎஸ்எஸ். சரியா, இப்ப நாங்க இந்த பாக்குறது வந்து இன்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ். அப்ப ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் நாங்க தனியே டிசைன் பண்ணி கொண்டிருக்கல. அப்ப தேர் இஸ் அ காமன் வே. இன்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ் போட்டுட்டு இப்போ H1 டெக்குக்கு நம்ம காமனா ஏதாவது அப்ளை பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னா சிம்பிளா நாங்க என்ன செய்யலாம், இங்க அப்ளை பண்ணலாம். ரைட், ஸோ நவ் வி ஹேவ் கிரீன் கலர் அப்ளை ஆயிருக்கு. இப்போ எங்களுக்கு ஒரு சிச்சுவேஷன் ஒன்று வருது. இந்த 3வது H1 டெக்குக்கு மட்டும் அதுல கலர் வந்து எங்களுக்கு கிரீன் தேவையில்ல, எங்களுக்கு அது ரெட் கலரா வேணும். அப்ப கொமனா இருக்கிறது கொமனாக அப்ளை ஆகும். இதுக்கு மட்டும் நாங்க சேஞ்ச் பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னா in that case we can use inline CSS. inline அந்த டெக்குக்கு அவடத்திலேயே பாவிக்கிறதா inline சொல்றோம். இந்த line itself, that's what the meaning, that's how you can understand. For the particular line itself, அந்த லைனுக்கு நீங்க CSS அப்ளை பண்ண போறீங்கன்னு சொன்னா, ஸோ இங்க இந்த H1 டெக்குக்கு கிரீன் அப்ளை பண்ணிக்கிறதும் இவருக்கு பொருந்தும். அதே மாதிரி இங்க நாங்க இன்டர்னலி இன்லைன் நாங்க அப்ளை பண்ணிக்கிறதும் இதுக்கு பொருந்தும். இருந்தாலும் ரெண்டும் ஓவர்லேப் ஆகுள்ள அல்லது ரெண்டும் கன்ஃபிளிக்ட் ஆகுள்ள எது வந்து ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ப்ரிஃபரன்ஸ் கொடுப்படும் என்று சொன்னா இந்த இன்லைன் சிஎஸ்எஸ் தான் கொடுப்படும். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வாட் யூ ஹேவ் டு ரிமெம்பர். ரெண்டை பாவிக்கக்குள்ள இன்டர்னல் தான் இது. ஆனா இன்னொரு வேயும் ஒன்று இருக்குது. நீங்க யூ கேன் யூஸ் இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் interjection mark. important வேர்டை நீங்க டிஃபைன் பண்ணினா ஏதாவது ஒரு HTML எலிமெண்ட்டுக்கு ரெண்டு ஸ்டைல் வந்து கன்ஃபிளிக்ட் ஆகும்னு சொன்னா, இங்க H1 டெக்கு இங்கேயும் நாங்க கலரை தான் பாவிச்சிக்கோம், இங்கேயும் கலர் தான், ஒன்று கிரீன் இருக்குது ஒன்று ரெட் இருக்குது. பட் இங்க நாங்க என்ன செஞ்சிருக்கோம், இன்ஃபோர்ஸ் பண்ணிக்கோம் இம்பார்ட்டன்டா இதைத்தான் என்ன செய்யும் எடுக்கும். இப்படி ஒரு டிஃபைன் பண்ணக்குள்ள if I refresh here it's applied, right? Why here we have enforced that you applied this green color if there are any conflict. Here there is a conflicting situation. For the H1 tag using internal CSS we have given green color, using inline CSS we have given red color, but here we have add this important notation, so it takes this green color. If there are no any such explicit declaration, it will take in the order. So first it takes inline CSS. Now we will move to the third method that is very commonly practiced, and that's one of the standard practice, right? Third method, external CSS. So now when we design any website or web application, we take a templating approach. So what does it mean? It means before we actually design or develop any website, first we use Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop, right? PSD format, and we hire a design person who is very good in user interface design, and he will design it, right? He will design it using Illustrator or Photoshop, right? Then he will give the design. Then if we want to make any changes, we can make the changes. Now let's say we have finalized the design, then only we will try to convert this to web pages using HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and so on. Now this is the header area of our web page, this is the footer area of the web page. So the minimum level, this header and footer are going to be same for almost all the pages. In that case, For the header background, let's say we have used red color. Then let's say in our website we have 23 pages. Now, if you want to use either inline CSS or internal CSS, we have to apply this style for all these 23 pages. And at any point, we decide, okay, red color is not suitable. We will make it pink color. Then what we have to do? We have to again go and edit all the 23 pages and we have to make the change. This is not a good practice and also it's not a standard practice. So that's why we won't use a model 3. So in method 3, external CSS. So it will work like this. What if we can do like this? We apply this color red to a single page, and we link that style to all the 23 pages. So from this single page, all the 23 pages are taking its color. Then later, if we want to change the color to pink, we can simply come back to this single page and make the changes and it will again reflect. So this is what we are going to do using external CSS. So let me show how to link that external CSS. Now we have HTML. Now let's say this is page 1.html. Head, here body. Now it's going on, right? We have text. This is page 1. Okay, I'm creating h1 tag here. Page 1 h1. Right. Now we have another page called page 2.html. Sorry. Head, body, and body. Now here also we have h1, page 2. Now if let's say we want to apply some style to h1 tag. If now we want to apply same style to all the h1 tags from page 1 and page 2. If you use inline CSS, you have to apply the same style here and also in this page also if you use inline. Or if you want to use internal CSS to apply the same style to all the h1 tag from page 1 and page 2, here you have to come style, right? And from here you have to apply style. Sorry, it won't come. Style. You have to apply the same style. Now what if you want to change the color or any of the CSS element, then you have to open all these pages and you have to make the changes here, right? So it's a time consuming, unprofessional, or not a standard way. So now what we are going to do is, since we are going to apply the same style for h1 tag from page 1 and page 2, we are going to use an external CSS. Now, since we are going to use a same style for all the H1 text from page 1 and page 2. External, using external CSS is very easy. So now I am going to create a file called style.css. Style.css. Now I want to apply style to H1 text. So I am just typing H1. Then here I can give the color, for example, pink. Now only thing that I have to do is I have to link this external CSS file to all the required HTML pages. All the required HTML pages. How to add? This is the way we have to add, right? You have to use the you have to use this link tag, right? You have to use link tag, right? And this is optional. Real relationship, you can give style sheet. This is optional, not a mandatory. Now all the modern web browsers will automatically understand, right? So this is optional. Only attribute that you have to give is you have to link that resource href. Now you have to add this style.css for all the pages. If you want to apply this style to page 1, you can add this, and also if you want to apply the same style to page 2, you can add the same here. Now all the pages are taking their style from this style.css. So whatever change you make to this style.css file will be in real time reflect in all the pages that you have linked this external CSS file. So here இங்க நாங்க என்ன செய்ய போறோம் சொன்னா ஒரு எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஃபைல்ல நாங்க இந்த ஸ்டைல அப்ளை பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கோம். இந்த எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஃபைல எட் பண்றதுக்குரிய ஃபார்மட் வந்து இங்க இருக்கு. லிங்க்ன்ற டெக்க நாங்க ஹெட் டெக்குள்ள போடுறோம். அதுக்கு ஒரு ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் ஸ்டைல் ஷீட்னு கொடுக்குறோம். இது ஆப்ஷனல். ஒன்லி அட்ரிபியூட் நாங்க கொடுக்க வேண்டியது என்னன்னா இந்த href ஈக்குவல் எங்கட எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஸ்டைல் ஷீட்ல நேம் எக்ஸ்டென்ஷனோட கொடுத்தா சரி. இப்போ என்ன செய்ய போகுதுன்னு சொன்னா இந்த பேஜ் 1ம் பேஜ் 2ம் அதுக்குரிய CSS ஸ்டைல எங்க இருந்து எடுக்குது? style.css இந்த ஃபைல்ல இருந்து தான் எடுக்குது. அப்ப இப்போ வந்து இது பிங்க் கலர்ல இருக்குது. ஸோ அதைத்தான் நாங்கள் இந்த ஃபைலை தான் லிங்க் பண்ணியிருக்கிறோம். அதால இங்க 2 பேஜில் இருக்கிற H1 டெக் எல்லாமே பிங்க் கலர்ல காட்ட போகுது. இப்போ நாங்கள் என்ன செய்யறோம்? இந்த பிங்க் கலர் இல்லை, நாங்கள் ஒரு எல்லோ கலருக்கு மாற்ற போறோம் சொன்னா நாங்கள் இங்க போயிட்டு எந்த சேஞ்சுமே செய்ய தேவையில்லை. இந்த எக்ஸ்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ் லிங்க் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கிறோம். ஸோ இங்க எக்ஸ்டர்னல் சிஎஸ்எஸ்ல என்ன இருக்குதோ அதைத்தான் இந்த P1 டெக்கும் P1 பேஜும் P2 பேஜும் காட்ட போகுது. ஸோ சிம்பிளா நாங்க இந்த எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஃபைல்ல போயிட்டு சேஞ்ச் ஒன்று செய்யக்குள்ள அந்த சேஞ்ச் வந்து எல்லா பேஜ்லையும் காட்ட போகுது. Now let me show this, right? We will create two files so that you can understand the use of external CSS. So let me rename this file, right? I am renaming this as external one, right? External one, and then let me edit this. External CSS. I am page external 1 CSS, for example. Now I'm just copy and paste this. Now I am just renaming it to external 2. Now we have external 1 and external 2. So let me edit the text. External 2 CSS, right? So now let me open these two files. Now you see here, this is external 1.css. This is I'm page external to CSS. Now using external CSS, the third method, we are going to apply same style to both these pages. So now, as we discussed here, I have to create an external CSS file. So the file extension is .css. So let me create one external CSS file here. So we don't need this. I'm just creating a file, save as style.css. Now I just apply h1 tag, right? So I'm going to give the color pink. Give the color pink. Nothing will happen because we have not linked any pages. So let me open this h1 page. And only thing, now we have applied the style here in external style sheet. We have just given one, select h1, and we have applied the color pink. Now I am closing this file, or I can keep this file. Now let me open this external file 1 and 2, and this is the method. We have to link the external file CSS to any HTML document. So here under the head tag, we use link style.css. So we have to give this relationship, right? So let's give this style sheet, right? Link relationship style sheet. Now it is added, right? So make sure you add this relationship, right? Style sheet, so that it can understand that this is about CSS style, right? When you use external CSS. So link relationship attribute, we put rel equal style sheet href attribute where we add our CSS file with the extension. So let's apply the same to our external file too. So hope you remember how do we do that. We use link relationship equal style sheet, then href equal, we have to give the file extension style.css. Now if you refresh, right, so this is applied to, I did only this thing, right? I added the same to external file 2, and now you can see external 1 CSS also, here also 2 also has. Now let me modify the CSS file, right? I'm just giving something to show you how beautifully we can design, right? So from next class onward, we will learn about all the CSS properties, elements and selectors, which we will be frequently using when we go for any web design. So I'm going to give the color white. I'm going to give the background color black, right? I'm going to change all the text to uppercase, text transform uppercase. We want to make everything in capital. Text align. I want all the text to align to center, so I use text align center. Now let's refresh this and see how it appears. See here, it appears like this. Now let's make some space. So let's make padding 25 pixel. Now it will appear nice, and save it, right? See here, right? Now we have styled this using CSS. So this is the third method we can use to apply CSS to any of our HTML document. So that's all for me today. So let me revise what we have discussed today. So these are the quick summary of today's session, right? We briefly talked about CSS, and we discussed it can be used for styling in HTML document, right? And then we discussed how to link CSS to any HTML document, and we show there are three ways. One is inline, second one is internal, and third one is external. Inline, for the tag itself we use here, right? This is what mean by internal, right? Internal CSS within the head tag, we use a style tag. Under the style tag we apply all our styles. In external CSS, we externally create a style CSS file. So for example, style.css, and for any HTML document under head tag, using link relationship style sheet, right? Style sheet, and using the property, using the attribute href, you can head the file. Then whatever you applied in this external style sheet will be applied to all the HTML document that you have linked this external CSS file. That's all we have discussed today. In next class, we can discuss about the syntax of CSS. It's like selector, property, value. This property is what we had been using: color, up color, text transform, text align, padding, margin, and all this. So one by one we can discuss from next class, right? That's all for me today. Thank you very much.